The subject line was, "Hey sexy," and I'm used to getting spam, but at the same time something told me this is not right, and when I looked, it was my daughter's email account that had received that message.
That email was meant for Cliff Ford's 12-year-old daughter, sent to her in January by an unknown man who befriended her in a social media chat room. Cliff knew about it immediately because he has his daughter's email account linked to his phone. Instead of going over the edge, Cliff went to his computer.
I basically took over my daughter's profile and conversed with this guy in the chat room as my daughter to try and get as much information about him as I could. "I know you're sexy. I'd never even seen your whole body." Like, all he had seen was just the profile pics that she had done.
This is an example of the disturbing messages Cliff received as he pretended to be a preteen. Comments like, "It turns me on a lot now knowing you are 12," and "I want to kiss you and hold you." It turned his stomach, but Cliff continued to pose strategic questions and got the answers he needed.
3 days later, I had his home address, where he worked, the car he drove, and his full name.
Armed with the suspect's full name and now aware that he lived near Akron, Ohio, Cliff contacted local police down in the States. They then joined forces with officers here at Toronto Police Headquarters who continued the investigation on this side of the border.
I was fortunate enough to be able to keep talking to him online. He obviously thought I was a 12-year-old girl.
And with that evidence, police in Ohio, along with the FBI, arrested 30-year-old. He was caught watching child porn when authorities arrived at his home in Springfield Township, Ohio. It was also discovered that was the main source of a local child porn sharing system.
I know that it did lead to what we would basically call a pedophile ring.
Pleaded guilty to federal charges, and earlier this week he was sentenced to almost 22 years in prison. And police sincerely thank this concerned dad.
I can only imagine what he would have wanted to do to this individual. And he set that aside and he took faith in the system. As far as I'm concerned, he's a hero.
Cliff says his daughter is doing fine and is now sharing her story with friends in hopes of making them more aware when using their devices. Outside Toronto Police Headquarters, Tammy Sutherland, City News.